Welcome everyone in another CRYENGINE tutorial about RPG inventory system. This is part number 5, I believe. And in this tutorial we're going to continue from the point that we finished on the last video, obviously. So yeah, and what I would like to say is, as usually, if you haven't watched my previous videos, then go and do that, because there is all information that you need on what I'm doing now. So we finished on that point. Just watch my previous video. Seriously, I'm not going to be explaining what I did. What else we have to do, and what I forgot about is when we actually finished working on the flash, we have to export it as a GFX file, just like we did in my tutorial with this example, which is in your CRYENGINE engine itself, tools, GFX export, and then grab your SWF file, drop it over the exporter, and it's gonna, yeah, there it is. It just generates GFX file out of it. So we are on the point where on the beginning of the game, we enable, which is we show our inventory element on the screen, but we load it to the game world, but we hide it. It is still there, it's just hidden. And in player.cpp we input.cpp we created some simple switch to show and hide it from the screen. So let's see how it does. Let's see if it actually works or not, and what we have to fix if we do. Okay, there is nothing on the screen. If I press I, we got our inventory on the screen. I. So it works. The point is, we haven't got a cursor on the screen when we want to. So we want to go to the switch that we created, which is on action inventory, and we want to create something similar to this. So what we want now, we want to grab EUI action. Let's call it P action. It doesn't matter, because obviously there will be separated actions for both of these statements, so you know they're not gonna be relative anyhow. Flash UI get action, and action was called inventory mouse off. Mouse off because we don't need cursor when the inventory is closed, right? So, and now we're going here. If p action, it is just I'm just checking if the action returns true, just because, I mean, if it's not null or like this, because if it doesn't find that and it passes it anyways, this null to manager is gonna crash the engine. So we don't want this to happen. That's the you know, that's the thing you do to prevent it from crashing. So EUI action manager p manager g environment flash UI get manager. Yeah, there's nothing. Okay, if obviously it's probably gonna be fine, but I'm gonna also check the manager if it's returning some value, not null, because obviously it's gonna crash. So if everything is found, then p manager start action, and action was p action, and we're gonna put here our element inventory system. That's it. We start the action, which is mouse off. So we're gonna copy everything and paste it down here. We just all we're gonna change is just off to on. You remember these UI actions we created in the last video, so we are using them now. So when it's open, then close it and switch off the cursor, which is this action, called this action. And when it's closed, then open it and inventory mouse on, show the cursor on the screen, and open inventory. So let's see now. if it does show the cursor on the screen just like we want to. Hopefully it does. So as you can see, I got the cursor on the screen, so I can start working on the elements if they are already here. So there is no functionality yet, and cursor disappears. So yeah, it's just fine. So the basic functionality, the basic show and hide, is already working. Also, I'm gonna show it in one of the future videos. I don't know which one, but it's probably when already our inventory is finished. How to log the player movement, because obviously when you press I, you don't want this player to move anymore. When you move around the cursor, you don't want your character to be rotating, right? So I know how to do that, and I'm gonna show you how to do that, but not in this video. Blah blah blah. Okay, we are at this point, and what we were going to do now, we're gonna stop now working on the flash inventory. This is just some basic functionality I made, but the most important thing is that we are working on third-person shooter project from the Crytek, and the problem about it is that it does not have inventory as such, because I'm gonna show you something in here. It goes back in probably, where the hell was that thing in the plugin? No, it was in the game rules. I think game rules. Yeah, see, create actor, it creates the player, blah blah blah, and we got our player being spawned in the game world. And how the Crytek prepared that is, they, on the beginning of the game, process event, set health and everything. If you haven't got a weapon, then it creates the rifle and gives you it to the hands. Creates weapon, you see. So the point about it is that they did not prepare inventory system whatsoever, and they did not prepare any pick up and drop system. The problem about it is we have to do it ourselves. Obviously, if you're on the game SDK, then you can still use the my inventory tutorials up to this point, because the flash part and calling the UI functions and elements and everything, it's exactly the same in game SDK. The only difference starts from now. I have to build the whole inventory system. This is gonna be small and very 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 simple inventory system. So nothing complicated, but if you are in game SDK, you have to hook up, you have to, in player CPP or actor CPP, you have to find functions like pick up and drop and hook it up to the flash system that I just showed you on this and previous videos. So we have to create something like this ourselves. The point about it is that first of all, we would need a proper weapon. I'm not sure how they manage this, so I'm going to run the editor and figure out some things. I did it from the blank project for my game. I started from blank CPP project, so there wasn't even that implementation of the weapon. So I did everything myself, but in this case I will have to look into a couple of things. So I'm gonna create some new simple map. I always call it test 1, I don't know why. Yeah, some little map. Okay, it is here. Cool. We got what we want now. We want to see what it has. It has bullet. Yeah, but bullet is just a ball. We got the rifle. Okay, rifle. So as I can see, the refill does not exist pretty much. This is just imaginary weapon in Crytek's mind, so I know what's going on now. What Crytek did, they created for their character, I'm gonna show you that. Objects, characters, sample character. This is Crytek's character. And now, doesn't matter, we have third person project, so let's go here. As you can see, this is a CDF file they're using, and they created something like a bone attachment for the weapon. Like, usually you should do that, but the point is that this weapon itself in the code entities, there is a rifle weapon that you are shooting with. Rifle weapon. It does not have a model, any 3D model. It does not have any mesh. It just functionality floating in the air. The actual mesh is over here. They used bone attachment to attach the weapon, that CGF, and I don't want to do this way. So what I'm gonna do, I'm actually gonna change it from the editor so you can see it a little bit better. Okay, this is the same. This file I was just trying to edit, it was the same thing that you are going to see now in the editor, so just bear with me a moment. And from now our inventory system gets serious, and this is gonna be much more difficult than it was so far. So focus now and watch this a couple of times if you want. We want to go into animation and character tool. As I said, I'm creating detailed tutorial how to create inventory system from the scratch. That's why it's gonna take a lot of parts, and it's gonna, it's gonna just be long and not easy process. So let's load the character over here, third person. Okay, we got the character. As you can see, weapon is already here, even if it's not in the game. So that's what I'm talking about. They created weapon attachment, which is this probably. Yeah, it is. But the thing about it is that it's cool. We are going to use this attachment because it's already on the hand and it's counted and everything. It's good. We just want this mesh to disappear from here. We're gonna stick it to player hand when we are in the game, when we pick up the item or something. We're gonna leave the rest like it was before. Barrel out is just the attachment that is shooting out the bullet, but I'm not gonna change anything. Okay, now we save it. I usually click it twice, I don't know why, but it doesn't seem to be changing. Okay, there should be no weapon now when I go into the engine. I run the game now. There shouldn't be any weapon. Of course, if you have first person, third person, you have to change each of the CDF file. So you can see there is no weapon. It's still shooting out some things, but there is no mesh, but functionality is still there. So it is given this weapon, but this weapon is pretty much floating code, and we're gonna start building. Let's do the rifle as well, but or we can make something more simple, I think. Yeah, we're gonna create something cool. You will see in the next tutorial. You will see this is gonna be very cool. A lot of people probably waiting for that. So thank you for watching. That's the end of this part, and I hope you enjoyed and hope you learned something, and see you in the next video.